Okay, there we go. How much battery I have on this? Oh, I do. Okay, we're good. All right, you guys, so this is my newest design for Art Hero Monthly. Really quickly, Art Hero Monthly is my paid subscription platform, if you will. If anybody is interested in supporting my art and my work, that's basically what this is. They get a chance to vote. So for February, those that supported and paid in February got a chance to vote through my exclusive newsletter for a design. And I told them it had to be a character, could be fan art or an original character of mine. Obviously, it became an original. Eating a type of food in the rain, because I have to think about, April showers, all that. So now what I'm doing is creating products that are going to come out in March, and then I can ship it to them for February. So for those of you that might see this on YouTube later, or you're watching right now, my name is Eva. I'm a cartoonist and a traditional painter, and creating art is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. It's the way I'm a rock star, I guess, like for myself. Hi, thank you for the rose. Hi, Readerosaurus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know it's not necessary, but I adore thee. Last week was my last insane week. Insane. I had show after show or workshop after workshop, doing things, had to be live, had to go over here, had to do this. And guess what? This week is all for you guys. So hello, welcome back. Thank you to everyone who's here. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you, Dot. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. So I'm just showing you guys really quickly. I'm going to be working on merchandise. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the fire. Flames. I was trying to think of something. I'm going to kind of explain my behind the scenes of like me working on exclusive products just for my subscribers, because they can actually add on to their rewards with exclusive things only they can get. So if you want to stick around for that, fantastic. Otherwise, you can follow me on YouTube at Critterosity, and you can watch these videos at any other time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Morris. Thank you. Oh my gosh, a dinosaur. That's the tiny. And then we go, yep. Tiny. Those are his arms. Like I said, I try to make up something for each one. Thank you so much. I haven't even started, and you're throwing stuff at me. So thank you very much. Much appreciated, you guys. Any follows, any pushes. I so appreciate you guys. The right people find me. I don't try to get famous here on TikTok. I just more so am thankful I have the chance to go live and share what I do for those that have maybe never seen my work before. If you have any questions about my art, about running a small business, about doing this full time for the last 8 years, you are welcome to ask. Some things I do keep private for me. But I like to be as helpful as I possibly can. So thank you for sending all the love, and thank you. So basically, I've been working with a company that allows me to create a postcard, and the postcard allows me to add gold embellishment to it to create like a flicker of light. I don't have any, of course, postcards on me here upstairs in the studio. But if you give me a follow, you'll see on Instagram, I show a lot of like the things that I've done in the past. So to make the rain look like it's really coming down, for this little Yeti, my subscribers voted and somebody put a bagel. If you know me, a bagel is part of my everyday life. So I was like, yeah, we're doing Yeti with bagel. That's for sure. But I also have an alternate one I decided to make for those that like donuts, a donut instead. So a few of my subscribers are going to get the option on some items, not all items, but some items. The postcards are really expensive because of the embellishments of adding everything in black is actually gold. So it's going to add a flicker on the limited edition postcards. So for this one, I am doing the bagel because that's what my supporter wrote and voted for, and that's the one I picked. But then some people will get an option of like, hey, do you want the donut or the bagel? And then they'll get a chance to choose. So I try to make it fair when I can. If I'm like, yeah, not everybody eats bagels, or some people are allergic to things, so I tried to give it an alternate without totally having to redraw something like a cupcake. I was like, it's already the shape of a donut. Let's just make it donut. So when I'm making extra products, from stationery to envelopes to, so many things. I have to come up with assets for the character so I can float it around. Hello, thank you, Hamimo. Hello, thank you for sharing the live, reader. I appreciate you. So this is where I have to stop and kind of go, okay, if I'm going to do this on a notepad, it can't have all this crazy background. So then I have to go in the back and kind of remove things, add things. If you imagine this rectangle shape would appear on a big old notepad, and we don't want that. You know, we want it to like float. So usually I have to go back and kind of work on things, remove things, add things. This was the one before, and now you can kind of see how it's kind of messed up. So now I have the new one that goes all the way across the back. Then I had to make like a little bit of a tree because I need it to kind of be off the edge. So like I removed the background, I added a tree so it can float on the side. Thank you. So these are all the things that a lot of people don't see me do. They're just like, oh, you made a notepad. I'm like, there are so many steps to making the notepads more busy, more fun. So I usually save these as a PNG so I can change them up. Now, as you can see, the grass has a hard corner right here. We don't want that. So what I have to do is make the grass an asset. I have to make the tent an asset, all of it. It's all a lot to have to do. So it's not just a matter of like, just throw the picture onto a notepad. Sometimes I do that, but for these additional items, I want them to be loved and used so much that I want it to be great. Hi, Alleged Axe. Thank you so much for the hearts. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. So if you guys want to take a sneak peek, I'm not going to work on every single thing I'm doing, but I'm going to break things into different sessions so you guys aren't over it. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize you look at a product, but you don't see all the layers and layers and layers and layers. And then maybe you save something and then an hour later you go to upload it all and you're like, oh no, I didn't do that the right size, or oh, that's not going to fit in this part of it. So right now I'm going to start working on my large notepads, my medium notepads, and my long notepads. Some are going to have lines and then some aren't. That's kind of a new thing I've been offering because of everyone's feedback. Feedback is key for small businesses and being polite. So a lot of my supporters are like, I really love it, but I can't write on my notepads because I don't have lines. And I'm like, okay, that's what you want. Let's do it. So I have a couple things up my sleeve for this round to add some cool additional items. So I'm just going to show you guys the basics. Okay. Everybody that's on here, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. And it's good to see my regulars and some of my supporters. Thank you so much. So I want to say I just saved that as a PNG. No, I did not. So I'm saving all my different assets. That way, when I save them to the program I use, I can move things around and everything's kind of individual. So that tent I already worked on. That was like, I'm not really used to like tents and stuff. Usually it's a little bit more tough for me. Anything that has a harsh line like this, you know, I kind of have to help float it around. But in this case, I think I'm okay with it. So I'm going to save this PNG so that I can, again, move it around as I start to build the different sizes that I'm going to do. Thank you so much for the likes. You guys were already at 1,000. I just jumped on. Like, thank you. Thank you very much. I see you and I appreciate you. Okay. Now, I've already saved my two different squatches, one holding the bagel, one holding the donut, so I'm good there. We have the rain, so I want to make sure I save this as a PNG. So PNG just means, for those that don't know, there's no background. It's transparent, so I can stretch it, float it, move it over things, layer. It's really cool, so that's why there's no background. If I do it like this, it'll save like a JPEG, and it'll just be a big white background behind it. We don't want that. We don't want that for this. When I make the actual notepads, I can have that. The background I'm actually going to avoid because I'm going to use a solid background. Worker hands. These are my mom's hands, Alleged Axe. You know this better than anyone. Look at them wrinkles and veins. Disgusting. But thank you. I'll take the compliment when I can get it. Okay. So I think The grass, what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate that one. Let me see. We're going to duplicate the grass. I see there's a lot of things on this that I want to erase because it was behind the tent, so I didn't see that I made like, oh, is it not that layer? Is it? Oh, I'm not on the layer. I hate when that happens when you see the layer, but you're not on it. Okay, I just want to get rid of that. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to duplicate it one more time. Hide the first one. I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to rotate it. Okay, because I want it to be longer so I have more to go across. And this one, I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to flip this one. Okay, so I have it on both sides. And I'm just kind of dragging it to the corner. So that way I can float it and move it around wherever I want to. And I don't have to worry about it falling off the page. So pretty happy with that. It's kind of like a mist behind it. So there's that. And that one I can save now as what? A PNG. That's right. You guys are already so good. So we save that image and now I have some assets, but it's not enough. It's still not enough. Now I need to rotate my canvas again back to where it was. I'm going to open up my bagel. And now what I want to do is basically make this bagel its own thing. All right. Because when you're thinking of assets, there's really nothing I can add from him. I mean, his shoes are about it. You can't take anything away from this. So the bagel's about the only thing I can add to this to make it something extra. So maybe it can be floating in the background. I technically have my colors right here. So I'm just going to draw, oops, if it'll let me. Oh, I'm just not high enough. Hold on. Let me move up above that one. Okay. So I want to switch to dry ink. I'm going to go around and basically pretend like the hands aren't there. This is how I get that similar shape. It's already drawn. It won't take me very long. I'm going to go around and I'm going to go inside. Whoop. And I'm going to actually just drop it in there. And now I can just hide it. Oops, I keep messing up. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. So now I've got the little bagel drawn in there. Whoop. If I hide this layer, I can grab the next color I want, which is gonna be kind of this bagel yellowish tone, if you will. All right, and we're gonna alpha lock. And then I'm going to go to my charcoals and I'm gonna bring back this one and alpha lock it. Okay, I did, but I need to see it. There we go. And I'm gonna start to create another bagel. It doesn't have to be identical, just as long as there's a bagel in the mix. And bagels are a bit more smooth, so I wanna go over my texturing a bit. Okay, so now we know we have another bagel. It's not a donut. We'll make a donut for the other one. Okay, and I'm gonna take my eraser and I'm gonna clean up these lines just a bit. Okay, and now I can start to check and see, okay, I have this color on it. So I'm gonna go back to this one, open it up, and I'm gonna start to add a little bit of a highlight to the bagel. I know, because I eat bagels so much, like what they kind of look like and their tone. I don't like your tone, I said to the bagel. Just kidding. Okay, so there we go. I'm happy with that. I made something really quick. It's a bagel. And what do? I save it as a PNG. So it's a lot of files to keep having on your, what do you call it? Camera roll. But once I design, I usually just go ahead and delete those. All right, so now we've got this one, which I really just added frosting to it. So if I drag this underneath or right over the layer that I have on, I can kind of see what I did and how I did it. So I can add another layer and I can get rid of, I have this one off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to trace the frosting on it because that's really all I did to this one earlier. So now I grab my pen tool, my inking, and I'm gonna trace this on this new layer on top, because the bagel's already under there as a layer. So I don't need to make that, but I need to pretend as if the fingers aren't there. So that way, we start to make the donut. Okay. Oh, whoops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. That happens, so we go all the way back. Keep thinking I'm on this layer. There we go. Now we're just gonna do that again. I was wondering how it was drawing over the fingers. It's because I was on the layer, so if you're on it, you can change it right there over the top. There we go, that's what we wanted. I'm just gonna fill in these edges a little bit. And now I can have some fun. It doesn't have to be identical to the one underneath. But now if I turn this one on underneath it, okay, I can shrink it down and I can get rid of his hands. And now I can mess with the the donut a bit more. Okay, now we're gonna alpha lock, and I'm going to start to highlight. And this time I'm gonna change my charcoal. I'm gonna do it just a little bit different charcoal color. Boop. That's really big. Nope, still too big. There we go. Now we start to see the donut have some lighting. This is making me very hungry. Very hungry indeed. Very hungry. Okay, and there we go. So I'm noticing there's some areas where when I did the color fill, it kind of missed it. So I'm just gonna go over those parts really quick. These again are just things to drop around as accents for my picture. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be enough that I can use it as a little filler. I'm just kind of going through. Now I'm going to take some like sky blue, my inking. I want a studio pen because sprinkles are usually more solid than textured. So I'm going to take this and go. And some yellow. And I forget what other color I put on this. And some white. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I have like a little donut that I can splash around for all of this. Thanks to everybody tuning in. You guys are seeing it really, really, really like bright with the whatever filter naturally was on this. This is actually much more pastel. There we go. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna save this as a PNG, but before I do that, I'm gonna try to get less layers on here, so I'm just gonna pinch those two together. Oops. Yeah, they're both on. Pinch those two together, so now they're on one layer. And then I'm gonna make some sprinkles in the background. So I'm gonna drag this so I can see it. Now the bagel doesn't really have that. I mean, you can put, I do cinnamon and sugar and butter on mine. My mom always did that for me. It's kind of like a little churro. And then there's cream cheese. And I know so many people put like lox on it and all of that. But I'm just trying to keep everything very simple. I don't want to spend hours like with it. So the bagel will be a little bit more, not drab, but not that exciting. The donut one is the one I can really mess with and create. So I'm just making some sprinkles that I can do my PNG, and I'm kind of spreading them out so that I can clip different things that I want. Like if I want to crop just this little part over here, I can do that. But that's why I create a lot of assets when I'm doing it, is you don't want just the character in the background. You want like all the different things for it. So now I can go in and pick and choose what I like. Okay, so we're gonna save that one. All right, now we have a lot to work with, okay? Now I'm going to go and say, okay, my notepad is an 8.5 by 11. I know that. So I'm going to set up my new canvas, 8.5 by 11 inches. Create. There it is. I'm going to pick a background color that I like, just to start. I always love kind of a beige or like a neutral. All right, and then I'm gonna say add, insert a photo. And I have all these to choose from. So I'm gonna go with the grass first. It's gonna be my first thing. And this is why I was saying, you know, it's kind of fun. You can even change it up in here, so I don't have to worry about that. The photo's already saved. So anything I do on this layer is completely, you know, not gonna affect the photo that I have saved. So if I want to go back and maybe do organic and I splash this around so it looks like it just gets darker and darker in the back. Okay. Then I want to lighten this because I'm going to see what kind of things I can do, because I don't want it to take over the whole picture. And I want people to be able to write on this. So sometimes going through all of these will give me new ideas, seeing it all differently. Sometimes I keep it the exact same. I think I like that one. It's a little softer. I can go back and add textures and do different things with it, but for now, that's what I want to do. I want to insert another photo, and this time we're going to do the bagel first. So I'm going to use this bagel picture. There he is, got his little bagel. I want him to be kind of the main focus on this. Now, we want this to be something where they can write on it. So I don't want to go too crazy adding a ton of stuff, and I will shrink things down. I'm just kind of bringing things in and setting them. Here's the tent where it's a PNG, so I can actually change it. See what I'm saying? I made it to where the tree goes off the edge, so it's not like in your face. And this one's also going to kind of shrink down. So I might not even need it. I just made it just in case. So if I shrink down my character, whoop, he can be down on the edge. Maybe we make him really small. Maybe we shrink this even more, bring it lower. It's just a lot of like, it's really fun, but it is time consuming. And that's the part that, not always do I have the time to work with it all. So there's that. We're going to bring in all the little fireflies. Yeah, the fireflies are going to come in now. We're going to shrink this down so I can kind of start to place things where they go. Okay, so we've got the little fireflies in the corner. The grass, we're going to expand just a little bit more. The tree, like I said, I overdid the tree in the sense of like, maybe I need the side of the tree, but now it's looking like I don't need that. What about an everything bagel, little texture? Yes, so what I can do is I can change it up and have like some raisins in the bagel, everything bagel. I did have some people write and say all those things, so that's a fantastic idea. Thank you so much. Because there are different bagels out there. So we can have that. I'm gonna bring my character up just a smidge. I don't want him floating. I just want him a little higher. And then we're gonna add the rain, because that was part of the theme for this one. As you can see, I do have some puddles down here, but I want it behind his body because I want him in front of it. So I'm just gonna drag that layer down a little bit. Almost looks like he's sitting in the rain, so I don't want that. I'm gonna erase some of this rain from here. It's just because they're different sizes from the different things I've done. The first one was, you know, for postcards, so it was actually there. And now it looks like there's a puddle, but he's not exactly like sitting in it. And this other puddle is totally fine there. So now we have the rain starting to fall. We can even lighten that a little bit. Okay, very soft, nothing too crazy. And I'm really liking the feeling of this one. It's looking nice. So if we go to the gallery, we can go back to the one we were at. The sprinkles are for when we add him as the donut lover. So as Alleged Act said, let's take this and let's duplicate a couple of these and make some different bagels with it. All right, so a little bit of texture. Let's take a look because you never know. Let me type in everything bagel. Sorry. Everything bagel. Just so I get a visual, because I don't eat everything bagels. I know they have the little like sesame seeds on it. So that's kind of what it looks like. Somebody else has drawn it, little specks. All right, so now that I have some inspiration, I'm gonna go back and we're gonna start to find some things that look like that, some different textures. Kind of like this one. Let me go back to this. Too big, hold on. Let's go teeny tiny. Look at that. Just because I mess around with this stuff so much, I kind of know what will work and what won't. Sometimes I start to do it and I'm like, wow, not even close. So changing the size, moving the pen different ways will change the size of the brush strokes and what it looks like. So don't be afraid to lower the opacity, make it bigger, make it smaller. Do something like this, like where you're brushing it. Maybe you make it a little bigger. Let's take a look at that bagel again. We've got some brown tones in there. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we're gonna do some brown. And this is just for fun. This is just so we make it to where everybody enjoys the bagels. All right, so see how that's starting to come alive? Starting to get that everything bagel look just by using one brush really fast. We don't want to spend hours on it, but we want some options. There we go, and some more white again. And a couple more black tones. So we really get the speckles. Look at this, look at this, look at that, look at this. Happy little tree, okay. So to me, it looks pretty close to an everything bagel, wouldn't you say? So now I'm going to close that one off. I'm going to open the next one and we're going to look at a raisin bagel. A cinnamon raisin. So it's good to use photo reference. You don't have to do everything from memory. It doesn't mean you're not a good artist. Can I feed you through here? But like these are another one of my favorites. I don't like raisins, but when I eat the cinnamon raisin bagel, I really like it. It's kind of like eating the Thomas, the cinnamon raisin bread is really good. So we can see it's a little more browned, a little toasty, and then you've got your raisins mixed in. So we're gonna come back. Thank you so much for liking the live, Stella. Thank you, thank you. All right, and now I'm gonna grab a little bit of that warmth. It's a little more like on the reddish tone. See, I go from like memory of what I kind of saw. I try not to go too long staring at it. That looks like hair. We don't want that. That is not attractive. We don't want hair on our bagel. Okay, this has a little bit of a toasty, kind of a cinnamon look to it. But we want to go a little lighter so we can change our opacity. So that's kind of what I saw. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's a little orangey tones. Let's see, some orangey kind of in between. Okay, and now we get our little raisins in there. And I'm just trying to stick with similar things that I know. Let's try this and let's see how that does. That's fine. I like that texture. Too big. Don't want it to look like chocolate chip cookies, so let me glance at it. Just a few raisins here and there, a little more in the reddish tone. There we go. Okay. There we go. Little purples in there for the raisin. Maybe it's like a blueberry one. Okay, we're happy with that. So we have a couple bagels to work with, okay? So let's save this one. Share the PNG. Save that asset. Now we're gonna save the everything bagel. Okay, and we go back to here. It's almost like it's raining. It's raining some bagels, okay? Insert a photo. We have this bagel, and what we can do is mess with it. We can change the shape of it like freeform. I can make it more rounded so it doesn't look like I completely copied the one I did earlier. So let's say we have this one. It's like it's falling from the sky, and we can shrink them down because they're just for funsies. And then we can insert a photo, grab the raisin one. Like I said, freeform. We can change the shape of it. We can rotate it a different way so they don't all look the same. And it's like raining. This is why I picked the rain though, so it kind of looked like it was raining these types of foods. Now this is an 8.5 by 11, so it'll be about a computer page size. So we've got those, and then I'm gonna bring in, unless I already have it, I might have saved it. Let's see. Yes, I did save the plain one. So now we're gonna drop this one in. And then again, keep having fun making something unique. So if I drop that one down and I put it like this, guess what I can do to it? Some little teeth marks in it. So it looks like it was kind of eaten. Whoop. So you can keep changing them all up. You can do different shapes, sizes, etc. So it looks like these are coming down. And then what I can do is I can start to add some line work to this for those that want the line work and those that don't when they choose it without. So I'm gonna find a color tone that I kind of like for this. And I'm gonna use my studio pen. I'm gonna test it really quick. That's too thick. Okay, so we want to make sure it's level. So I'm going to do it up higher, match it up kind of. And there's another way to do this too, where you can like set it to be a straight, perfect line, but I like to kind of freehand. All right, I duplicate it, I drag it down. Now that I've duplicated it, I can kind of see if it's off at all. Just by a little. No, sorry. There we go. Okay, then I'm gonna merge those two and I'm gonna duplicate again. And every time I add two more, I merge. Boom. Then I duplicate it and now 4 will pop up. So I just keep going and going and going as I do this. Okay, I'm gonna merge those and now I'm gonna get 8 lines. And I can just keep doing this as I go. Now, if it's off at all, oops, I wanna go merge, duplicate. Try to get it as close as possible. Boom. If it's off, like meaning it's not all the way to the right and I need to move it over, then what I can do is merge those and I can just stretch them a little bit. Whoop. And now I can move them up, I can move them down, I can erase parts I don't want. Okay, this one's going over this bagel, so I'm gonna have it kind of float behind there. I could bring the bagels to the front, I could take the lines down to the back, whoop, like that. It's really kind of fun to do, I'm not gonna lie. I love adding the lines. It's probably my favorite thing. Now, if I go past it, I can just basically erase what I don't need. So I can, let me go back though and bring it over the bagel, because what I want to do is duplicate it right now and then I'll merge it. So I'm going to merge it without erasing. Oop. Okay. So we can see it's going over his feet. It's all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to start erasing the things I don't want, and then I can move it all to the back. So I'm just erasing the line work that I don't want, but I'm going to keep it all the way to the bottom of the page. Also, the rain is giving it that vibe of like the old Notepads, right? Like the blue margin. So I'm really digging those colors together. That was on accident. I love that. As Bob Ross says, happy accidents. So I can put this behind the character instead of doing this. So I can merge down, grab this, and go all the way back to basically right in front of that. And look, it all disappears because it moved behind. Then you just want to check everything, make sure everything's good. Take a look. It's behind the bagel. It's behind the bagel. That one's behind the bagel too. So we have that. And now if somebody buys this as a large notepad, they'll have plenty of room to write their note. It's fun. It's whimsical. It's cutesy. That's what I'm all about. And for this part, I'm going to fade the tent just a bit. I want the character to stand out. So I'm going to keep him in the foreground. And then now that I faded that, I can start to see these lines again. So that's why you want to double check, because now these lines are showing up through it. So you can either keep them or you can go in and get rid of them. So whenever I'm designing product, these are all these little things that come up. Now, even though I've done this on an 8.5 by 11, guess what? It doesn't read as other sizes. So if my next notepad is going to be a different size, I now have to almost make a new one to come back and do it again. So I have to set up every single one. So what I do is I check everything. I'm just going to make sure everything's good. All right. I feel like I need a little bit more rain on the other side, so I'm duplicating and dragging some rain over here. I think I like that because it was looking a little drab on that side and it needed more rain. All right, so now that I have my design set up, I'm going to do it with the lines and without the lines. So I'm going to share as a JPEG. I'm going to hit Save Image. And then I'm going to remove my lines for those that don't want lines, because I offer it to them both ways. So I'm going to share as a JPEG without lines, and I'm going to save the image. So my next one's a 4.5 by 5.5 page. Even if I save this, I'm going to show you guys what happens if I set up a new canvas. Okay, inches 4.5, height is 5.5. Saving that one. Let's say I paste what I already made, right? Insert a photo, take this one. Okay, let me back up. Sorry, it's not letting me back up. I can't just easily drag this. Sorry, kind of messed it up there. See how the edges don't match up perfectly? So this is why I have to set up the again, because if I trust the program that they have, it's not going to be able to figure this part out. So this is why I usually reset the whole thing again. Or the other thing I can do is delete this. Okay. I go back here and I say, okay, it's mostly just this corner is not reading on the new one. So what if I take those two things away? Okay, I keep this, and then I can stretch this and move it the way I want. I can go copy the canvas, go back into my new canvas, and I paste the canvas. Boom. Okay, now I have some wiggle room. I can kind of pull this way, pull this that way, pull this way, move this around just a little bit. All right, we're starting to see that would mess that up, so I just kind of finagle the bagel. Move it around. All right, now my background color, I can match it That way, or I can just add a new canvas, grab that color, and then just drag it into the new canvas. You're gonna see down here, this got cropped, so we gotta go back now and we've gotta add, insert a photo, grass. But you're gonna be like, but the grass is really dark now, and that's okay. We're just gonna mesh it together. So I just take that and I'm just gonna lighten my background till it looks like it starts to match up. And that's pretty darn good, okay? Pretty darn good. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna duplicate it again, and this time I'm gonna drag it over to this side. Gotta flip it and start to kind of match it up. There we go. And I'm gonna erase some of this one, and I'm gonna erase some of this edging here, just a little, not a lot. And now I can even insert more fireflies if I want. This is what's neat about making the products, is that they might get a large notepad and then they might get a tiny notepad and end up with two completely different designs. So this one, I'm gonna erase some of this firefly stuff since I have duplicates. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And now I can insert the little tent. It has the little tree on the side, and I can move it to where I need it to go, which is behind the fireflies. I need the fireflies in front of it. And there's that. Now I can go up, I can go down. This time the tree kind of looks good being seen. And then we can insert a photo, and we can insert the bagel guy again. I always think of 40 Days and 40 Nights when I say the bagel guy. If you've seen that movie, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. Josh Hartnett. The old heartthrob, Josh Hartnett. Okay, and then I can fade this again like I did earlier. So even though it does take time, remember, I still have a whole nother character I have to put in here. I have to do the one with all the donuts and the sprinkles. So that's why I'm like, all of it takes time. Every single part takes time. It's not super easy every time I go back in, but it is so worth it. Now this is a smaller notepad, so I can actually make this character a little tinier. All right, I can actually fix up some of the things here. I'm trying to find where those little dots are. Okay. Okay, they're from the first one, got it. So if I start to erase here, I'm gonna erase that. I'm trying to find where these firefly characters are. They're not in that one. Not in that one. Not. They're on that one. Ah, I see. So there we go. We're gonna manipulate this real quick so that the fireflies disappear and it starts to look like he has a shadow. The other one didn't look like that. So they each have their own style to them. The fireflies are floating around the edge. The fireflies. All right, and maybe this time I'm gonna put some fireflies, duplicate, and I'm gonna flip them over, and I'm gonna put them up here by the bagel. So that way, no matter what they get, there will be something unique to each one. And I'm gonna add the everything bagel. A little smaller. And now we have a second one dropping in. So there we go. Now they're not the same notepad. They're gonna be different. I'm gonna share it, JPEG, save the image, and then we're gonna bring in those lines. I don't know if I saved the lines. Let me see. I don't think I did. So I can just go to the layer, this one, and hit copy. Go back to the other one, just right on the layer, and hit paste. Now I've got those lines in here, and they kind of work the same way on this one because they are the same. I mean, it's easy. I can just alternate the way they're laid out. I can shrink them, I can make them larger, but because they're over a JPEG, this time I do have to manually go in and erase some things. So now I just have to fix this. So if you guys have any questions about this, that is my process. Every time I set up additional items or make something special for Art Hero, I have to basically make it very specific for each one. Now you can see since I copied and pasted it, I had gotten rid of some things there. So I'm gonna try to drag that to try to match it up from the other one. There we go. I'm gonna move it left a little bit. There it is. Got it. And I have enough room from the top. Okay, and now I'm gonna erase a little bit more. Zoom in. It's floating around there. I've got some covering the tent, so I'm just gonna erase. There we go. And now we can save that one. Save image. So that is the Notepads, and I do have one more I'm gonna do, but I wanted you guys to see, like, just doing that takes a while. Now what I would do is I'd go back to this one. I've already saved the image. I'm gonna basically turn this one back on. Everything is almost the same, almost, except for this time, we're gonna bring in our donut loving Yeti. Boom. Here he is. Okay, I have to move him up because he's hiding behind all the layers here. Boom. Still hiding. Let's bring this one down. Okay. And he's too big. I mean, he is a Yeti, so he would be big. And I think I'm gonna bring him in front of that. There we go. So now we can see him. Everything else can pretty much stay the same. I might make him just, oops. I think I'm gonna make him just a little larger. There we go. Now we're gonna add some donuts into this. Did I not save the donuts? How dare I? Wait, where's our donuts? Oh yeah, that was an 8.5 by 11, got it. Okay, so we're gonna save all of these. Oh. Now watch when I do this. Let's see if this works. I test it out from time to time. Sometimes it's too much. Ready? Perfect. See how that changed color? Maybe not for you guys, but it turned it more purple. If I want blue, kind of makes it like a marbled. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You kind of have to mess with it. I think the purple was close enough to it. It turned it more purple, which was kind of neat. So we're gonna share that one. Nope, that's JPEG. We don't want to save it as JPEG. The other ones were. Save image. And the last one. Did I save them both? Yes. But is this a JPEG or is this see-through? That might be same. I'll just save it again just in case. PNG, because I got so used to hitting JPEG. Save image. So now I have 2 donuts. Let's see if white works for it. Not really. See, because there's so many shadows and shading. That's why I kind of just do as many as I can, just the quick way, and then we move on. Insert a photo. Pink. Freeform will let me stretch and squash it the way I want and flip it. I know, I'm so sorry, Myra. I don't know if Alleged Axe is still on here, but I'm like, can you bring home donuts? Can you bring home donuts? I'm just saying. I'm going to insert the little sprinkles and kind of mess with that a little bit. This is why I said I can do different things. And I can soften those. So they're there, but they're very light, falling from the sky. If I want to shrink them down now, it's kind of cropped, I can do that. Insert a photo. Let's put some on the right side. The right side would be in my tummy. Get it? The right side. Okay, and now we're gonna bring this down a little bit so you can see the sprinkles, but it's not overpowering. Thank you very much. Or we can just go get donuts when you get here. Because donuts make me nuts. All right. I'm gonna shrink this one down. And we're gonna soften this. All right, but it's a little higher, so that's okay. And then we're gonna insert another donut, free form, because we wanna be able to shift it the way we want. And you know, it'll change it again, so it doesn't just look like that donut. We can do that, and then we can move it up to the top right corner. Boom. Got a couple donuts falling. Now, are you guys donuts or bagels while we have you live? Even if you've answered somewhere else where I've asked, let me know. Okay, we can pretend that one's just about to fall in the water. Oh no! Close. We're gonna duplicate that one and we're gonna bring it down and get 2 over here. And now I'm gonna turn it a little bit a different way. Flip it one more time. There we go. So we have the donuts, we have everything, we have our line work. The line work's still fine where it is, didn't really have to do anything different. I'm gonna share it as a JPEG and I'm gonna save the image. Hi Erica, thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at that, 2.4 likes. Thank you so much, you guys. And now I'm gonna remove the line work and we're gonna save it again. Share, JPEG. This is why I said my camera roll gets filled up like crazy, but I'd rather do this than bring in every single asset to the program. It's too much. So this is all for additional Art Hero rewards where you guys get to add notepads and all different sizes and stuff. So I'm giving you guys a sneak peek of kind of what they're gonna be looking like for this round. So these are the different notepads. Thank you so much for asking. So on this one, we're gonna get rid of these 2. We just wanna save the background. Okay, so we go copy canvas. That way I'm not saving it as a JPEG. I can copy the canvas, take it over here. Okay, I'm gonna paste it. That way I can just upload these images right into the program. This one, the layout is actually, wow, really close. Oh, because I've already added the background. That's right. Cool. The green's already there from the last one. Perfection. Literally could not be happier with that because literally. Very excited about that. Okay. So we're going to save this one. That's why, like, once I start getting files set, it goes a little faster. It's just bringing in the new things that I have to do. And now we're going to bring up the writing or the line work. I can't see it because the other one's over it. I'm gonna double check. I can see that it's going over this because the other one, we layered everything underneath. This one's just one flat JPEG. So see, if I erase it, that will happen. So I'm just erasing the line work now. Anywhere the line work is going into the donuts, I'm gonna get rid of that. It's pretty good down here. A little bit there, a little bit there. All is good. And I think the only thing I need to do is grab this. I've got my studio pen already. I'm gonna fade it. Oh no, you know what? It's already faded on that layer, so. I'm just adding a little more line work to this so I can zoom way in, get it as close as I can. There we go. And there it is, and we're gonna share, JPEG, save image. And I have some very exciting news for you acrylic design lovers. I've got a new acrylic design that I've been working on, and I'm not talking about pins. So I'm just saying, just throwing that out there for the people that are here. There is something coming up. So cool. So I've got 2 of 3 notepads ready to go. These are also going to be available as Post-it notes, the larger 4x6 Post-it notes. I'm gonna be making one that is a is it 3x4? I think it's 3x4. It's like this, and it'll be a design similar to these. So only a couple of them will have the donuts. The other ones will be either like only donut or only bagel heavy. So if you are part of my Art Hero monthly designs, you know what this is, you know what's going on with it, and if you get the newsletter coming up in a few days for additional rewards, you want to make sure you fill those out and settle payment as soon as possible, otherwise you miss out on forever. The designs disappear and you can never get these designs on anything again. So that's why it's really important to like be quick. I know money's tough, so not everybody, oh, you know what, I saved these with him eating a bagel. I know it's tough, but at the same time, I'm like, get in your orders when you can, because you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on these things. I totally save those as bagels. So what I'm going to do before I get any crazier, I'm going to go to my thing and I'm going to say, oh, they're donuts and he's eating a bagel. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Next one, bagels, donuts. Nope, incorrect, incorrect. Now I'm caught up. That's my large one. This is my medium one. I'm going to shrink them down to cover the other character. So I'm trying to line them up so I keep it close because I've already brought in that character. There we go. Now it's correct. So now I go share, JPEG, save image, and now I'm going to get rid of the lines for the other option, share, JPEG, save image. And there we go. Now we have it with lines and without lines. Thank you so much. So like the Post-it notes will read something similar, but I don't have room for like all of this on small Post-it notes. These ones I have more room to play with. Also, there will be a pen design. So what I can do is kind of start my wrap for the pen. I'm going to add inches. We're going to go 2 inches by 5 inches. I think that's close to the wraparound around the pen. So if I go add, insert a photo, I can usually do something like this where I just keep what I kind of have on the notepad, and then I can bring this in like that. And then I can mess with it now because this one's a pen. So I'm not too worried about things being too dark because no one has to write on this. This is just the pen. So we can bring some sprinkles in there. Okay, try to kind of get them lined up a little bit. This. And then we can add another donut. Oops, those are files. Sort of photo. Boop. And because it's the pen, I can get kind of silly and make like big donuts hanging out. And I'm going to do the same with the bagel. Okay, see, I told you I thought I saved that one as not a PNG, so I have to grab that one. PNG means that the background is missing. There we go. And maybe I make this bigger. Character a little bigger. But then the donuts I can float a little higher up on this. Boop. Boop. And then that'll be the matching pen that goes with it. So just so you guys know, I make my little characters on pens. So that's why I'm saying it's about 2 inches around. And that's how we can kind of design it. And I do like making them straight up and down than like sideways. So you can see. Can wallpaper be purchased? I think so. It's not an Art Hero thing, so I think that would be fair. But the only thing is, you'll have to wait until the design comes out. I'm sorry. I know you guys are so excited and so enthusiastic. I appreciate that. But yeah, usually I'm like, let it come out first, and then you can purchase it on things. And I so appreciate you asking. Okay, and then I can erase some of this rain that's coming down right over his face. This is what's so fun, is that you can just kind of fix it to whatever you're working on. There we go. So now we have It's Raining Donuts, okay? And the little Yeti is living his best life eating the donuts. Now, because I stretched him more after approving him, I can try to do something like sharpen it. If it's not working, then what I need to do is delete it. I said delete. Okay, I said it. All right, now I'm going to go back to gallery. I'm going to remove this background because, oh, can I not? Oh, I see. There we go. I just want him, you know, the way it is. Share, PNG, save image. Now I can go over here. I could have done copy canvas. I did save image. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Eva has to think. Add, insert a photo. Boom. Now I can kind of pick just him. Then I can bring him down a bit. Okay. I don't know what this music is. Just went to it. Yeah, he's still blurry, which means he's just too small on the other image. He works on this canvas, but he's not working for me. You're not working for me. Let me try it one more time. I might have brought him in and then stopped because I couldn't see. A lot of problem solving. I think he's still too blurry because he's smaller on the other one. Okay, good to know. We'll delete it. We'll just bring in the assets. Here we go. Insert a photo. You guys saw how I did this earlier. I'm going to bring in the tent. There we go. So these are the highest resolution files right here. Okay, and then we'll get low power mode. Told you guys. It wouldn't be long till I couldn't keep going. What's the deal? Is it frozen? Is that like Elsa? Wow, just froze on me. Let's try that again. All right, if it freezes, I close it, I open it again. There we go. So now he's the highest resolution because I brought him back from like the beginning of it all. All right, and then I'm gonna fade out the background. And this is why zooming in and everything is really important when you're working. Sometimes I forget to do it. I am human, so I tend to forget. I know, who knew I was human? What's up with that? Background, we can add that nice beige. And then the last thing we're gonna do is insert a photo. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna be finishing up now because I have low power mode. But let me give you guys some musica. Okay. And then we can put this behind. Boop. All right. So there you go. You got your little character. He's living in his little donut raining world. It's raining donuts. That is a world I think I could live in, but probably not for very long. My cholesterol and all of that sugar intake would be way too much. And we're gonna do one more of the sprinkles on the other side since we removed some of the donuts. I'm gonna flip this. And there we go. So there's a little pen wrap that we'll be doing, and see now when I zoom in, he's not blurry. So we've got the pen figured out for that one. Now we're just gonna add. So it's just a lot of this. It's a lot of going back through everything. So, oh, if I hide this, I'm gonna save this one. JPEG. We're We're gonna save the image. Now we can switch things up to be the bagels floating all around, and maybe remove this one, make this one bigger, and we can rotate it. We're gonna get rid of the sprinkles because there's none of those with the bagels, unless you like that sort of thing, that's cool. Add, and we're gonna insert another photo. We're gonna do the raisin. This will be my last thing that I do, you guys, just changing out the character. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching live. You can see some of my past lives. Oh, my past lives, it always sounds so funny. On YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you can. And now we're going to hide him. And we're going to bring in the bagel JPEG. I mean PNG. And now we've got him eating bagels. Bagels. I'm just going to make sure he's sitting right in his little fort that he's built in the forest. Keep away from the rain, but he also enjoys the rain. And there you go. Just in seconds, I already have the bagels done. So share, JPEG, save image. So what I'll do, Erica, is I'll create a screensaver. Was there one in particular? I mean, I'll make both, but I can add it to additional items for a couple extra dollars. Did you like the bagels or did you like the donuts? Which one were you hoping to get? I'll make both of them an option, but again, being an art hero, you get all these specialty options to add. Thank you so much for the 2.4K likes while I was live, you guys. You're amazing. The donut one. Okay. And this is why I was talking to Tracy and I'm like, I think there's going to be some people that don't want bagels. They want donuts. So let's give them that. And then, like I said, I have a couple surprises up my sleeve for additional rewards. I'm going to need tomorrow to finish them up. I'll be sending out my exclusive newsletters to those that are Art Hero members. So be sure to check. And then also commission spots are going to be opening up by the, let's see, by Thursday. Is that right? No. I got to change it to, hold on. I got to figure this out. Thursday night, I'm doing Pop Shop. But also Thursday, I'm doing my live workshop with foam. So, I'm going to be basically doing the foam workshop, which is fairly simple. And then I'm going to be getting ready to go over to my live on Pop Shop Live app for a live sale. And I'll have a commission spot open there, plus some mini commission spots to do with March. So like Squatch Sprouts, Florettal characters, my new little ones, the Clovies. And then I have some commission spots opening for anyone that can purchase on the shop. And I will be announcing dates and times this round so everybody can prepare and what the themes are. So just letting you guys know, that's what's coming up this week on Thursday. So I think additional items will probably come out, if not tomorrow in a newsletter, the following day. So just definitely be sure to check your emails and I'll be sure to post in my stories when I send them out. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And again, I appreciate your time and learning along with me. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.